Hello students, welcome back to English grammar class. The topic that we're taking up today is the verbs. Let's start. A verb is a word which shows an action. An action or a state of being. A verb denotes doing, being and possessing. Most verbs are doing verbs. Be and its form suggest being. Have and its form suggests possessing. And there can be no sentence without a verb. Let's see some example. In these sentences, a verb denotes doing, being or possessing. Birds fly in the sky. The shopkeeper cheated me. Monica is a sweet girl. Father was angry with me. A car has 4 wheels. Lord Krishna had a flute. Most of the verbs are doing verbs. We have separate form of this verb to show the present time, the past time and the future time. Be is the only verb that denotes being. Is, are, am, was, were, will be, shall be are various forms of the verb be. Is, are, am refer to the present time or they are used to make general statements, and was, were refer to the past time. Will be, shall be refer to the future time. Have shows possessing. Have, has, had. Will have, shall have are its various forms. Have and has refer to the present time and had refer to the past time. Will have and shall have refer to the future time. Verbs can be divided into 3 categories. First, principal and auxiliary verbs. Second, transitive and intransitive verbs. Third, finite and non-finite verbs. Principal or main verbs. These verbs can stand alone. Let's see example. He wrote a letter. She arrived at 10 a.m. They have a big house. In these sentences, the words wrote, arrive and have express a complete meaning. They agree with the person and number of the subject of the sentence and also show the time of the activity. Auxiliary verb. These verbs are often used with other verb to complete the meaning of a sentence. Let's see the example. The dog is barking. He is writing a letter. She will comes at 10 a.m. In these sentences, the words is and will do not express a complete meaning. They help the main verbs to complete the meaning of the sentence. Auxiliary verbs are of 2 kinds, primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. Primary auxiliary verbs are be, do and have, and modal auxiliary verbs are can, must, may, might, will, would, shall, should, etc. Second category is transitive verbs. A transitive verb is one that is used with an object, a noun, phrase or pronoun that refer to the person or thing that is affected by the action of the verb. Let's see some example. He wrote a letter. Wrote a letter. She sang a song. Sang a song. In these sentences, the verbs wrote and sang are required objects to complete their sense. These verbs are transitive verbs. Intransitive verbs. Verbs that do not require an object. Do not require an object to complete their meaning are called intransitive verbs. Let's see the example. The horse works. The boy laughs loudly. He ran a long distance. In these sentences, the words works, laughs, ran are intransitive verbs as they make sense by themselves. They do not require an object to complete their meaning. The words loudly and a long distance are not objects. Third category, finite verbs. A verb that has a subject and exhibits tense and number in a sentence is called a finite verb. Let's see the example. We live in India. She opened the door. In these sentences, the words live and opened verbs are the main verbs in these sentences. Each of the verb has a subject. Next, non-finite verb. A verb that neither has a subject nor exhibit tense and number. Neither has a subject nor exhibit tense and number in a sentence is called a non-finite verb. Let's see the example. Walking is a good for health. Barking dogs seldom bite. In these sentences, the words walking and barking do not have a subject. They do not change their forms according to the tense and number. There are three kinds of non-finite verbs: the infinitive, the participle, and the gerund. The infinitive. The infinitive may be used with the preposition to. Let's see the example. The cricketers like to play fair. The patient is too weak to walk. So, in these sentences, you would have noticed that although the words except to are verbs, they have been used here as nouns. The infinitive acts as a noun and thus can be the subject or an object of a verb. The participle. Participles are verbs which do the work of an object. They qualify a noun. Participles are of two kinds: the present participles and the past participle. The present participle base verb ending in ing and the past participle verb ending in ed, d, t, en, n, etc. Let's see example. She told us an inspiring story. She walked on broken glass. In the given sentence, we notice that broken qualifies glass and inspiring qualifies story. Thus, they are acting as adjectives and are participles. The gerund. The gerund acts as a noun in a sentence and can thus be the subject or object of a verb. A gerund is the base plus ing form a verb. A gerund is a non-finite verb with an ing ending. It works like a noun in a sentence. Let's see the example. I enjoy baking. She is fond of dancing. In these sentences, baking is an object of enjoy and dancing is the object of the preposition of. So students, verbs can be divided into three categories: principal and auxiliary verbs, transitive and intransitive verbs, finite and non-finite verbs. Auxiliary verbs are of two kinds: primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. Non-finite verbs are of three kinds: infinitives, participles, and gerunds. I hope you found this informative and liked the video.